The opening race of the MX2GP of Qatar saw Paul Jonas grab the first foxhole shot of the year ahead of his teammate Jeffrey Hurlings, Jeremy Seewer and Dylan Ferrandis. But by lap 3, Ferrandis was already up into third place and going after the former two-time world champion. Wasn't long before it was a three-way battle at the head of the field, but by lap 5, Jeffrey Hurlings had dispatched of his teammate Paul Jonas, and Ferrandis wasn't long in following him through as well. By lap 7, Ferrandis made this pass on Hurlings and tried to pull away from the number 84, and the surprise, the revelation of the race was the 33 on the standing construct Yamaha Yamalu machine, Julian Lieber of Belgium. Closing stage of the race, Hurlings got close onto the rear wheel and eventually found a way through back into the lead with 4 laps to go. So at that point it was Hurlings, Ferrandis, Lieber, Geiser and Jeremy Seewer. The top 5, Jordi Tixier could only get back to 6, but when the flag fell, it was to Jeffrey Hurlings. In MXGP Race 1, Tony Cairoli thought he'd got a good start, but it was Max Nagel on the Red Bull Ice 1 Husqvarna who grabbed the foxhole shot. Cairoli was well placed in second, but by lap 3, Commander Sal had pushed his Rockstar Energy Suzuki up into second position. Tommy Searle, riding with an injured wrist, soon came under pressure from Ryan Villapoto, who stalled his motorcycle on the line. He made that pass to go into 13, and he was looking for a top 10 result in moto number 1. DeSalle tried to close down on the number 12 of Max Nagel, but just wasn't effective enough. Not giving up the fight though, the number 2 of Ryan Villapoto soon found himself just hovering outside the top 10 behind the Wilvo Fork Rent KTM of Stephen Frosshire and the Rockstar Suzuki of Kevin Strybos. A mistake or two from Max Nagel in the closing stages allowed DeSalle to close back in as Ryan Villapoto eventually caught and passed David Philipparts to move into 9th, but the win went to Nagel. MX2 Race 2, and it was another good start for the number 84, Jeffrey Hurlings, but it was Dylan Ferrandis who pulled the foxhole shot as they rounded out turn 1. All the top guys were pretty well placed. Ferrandis was after Hurlings, but Geiser had a lucky escape over the big jump in the middle of the circuit. He remounted in 11th as Ferrandis was the first of the Kawasaki's to crash out of 2nd. Then Tixier crashed out of 6th, and just ahead of him on the same lap, Max Anstey crashed out of 5th position. But Ferrandis was able to remount. He was able to pass the number 92 of Valentin Guyot as well. He was lucky to stay up in that exchange as he went through into 5th place. But Jeffrey Hurlings was on a different level, and he was starting to pull clear of Julian Lieber in that 2nd place. Jeremy Seewer was having a decent ride as well on the Suzuki, eventually came home in 8th just ahead of Tixier, and Alexander Tonkov came home in 3rd behind Lieber, but it was another win for Jeffrey Hurlings on the KTM. And the overall Grand Prix result looked like this. A maximum score for Jeffrey Hurlings, Julian Lieber was 2nd, Dylan Ferrandis 3rd.
Jeffrey, congratulations, your first overall win of 2015 season, and it clearly meant a lot for you. You managed to stay out of trouble when many didn't.
Yeah, I know, many had a little crash, but I just kept doing my best and finally paid off with a win. You know, it's I've been having a tough 7-8 months, but we made it through, and I never could do it without Red Bull KTM race team. They worked so hard for me, and glad to have won this first opening round.
When the gate dropped in MXGP Race 2, all eyes once again on Max Nagel as he stormed his 2nd Foxhole Shot award of the day. Gauthier Paulin was in there in 2nd, DeSalle was well placed in 3rd, Cairoli wasn't too far behind in 4th position either, as Max Nagel started to pull a gap over the HRC Honda rider. DeSalle started to close in 3rd place. And a little bit further back, a much better start for Ryan Villapoto, saw him down in 7th, just behind the Suzuki of 22, Kevin Strybos, and he couldn't find a way past, eventually being caught and passed himself by the 461 of Roman Fevre, the rookie in MXGP. Van Hoorbeek was having a lonely ride in 5th for Yamaha Factory Racing, but DeSalle seized on an opportunity and a mistake from Paulin to move into 2nd place with about 5 laps to go. Van Hoorbeek survived this moment, showing how rough and treacherous this Qatar circuit was as Villapoto came home in 8th. But the checkered flag fell once more, and it was another win for Max Nagel. Clément Dessau was second, Gauthier Paulin third, Cairoli was fourth, Van Horbig fifth, with Villapoto down in eighth. And the overall Grand Prix looks like this. 50 points on the board for Nagel, Dessau second, Paulin third, Cairoli fourth, Van Horbig fifth overall. And in the manufacturer's chase, Husqvarna lead the way from Suzuki, Honda, KTM, Yamaha, Kawasaki and TM.
President and QMMF President.
But your overall podium then, Max Nagel, Red Bull, Ice One, Husqvarna Factory Racing, stood proud on the top step of the podium this weekend in Qatar.
And the trophy to the win.
Yeah, of course. It's just the start of the season, but I'm so proud. The team have done a really good job, and also WP, because this track was all about the suspension. It was so rough and so dangerous. Few moments was really tricky for me, for myself. So I was taking them a bit more easy to don't crash. But I'm so happy and so proud for the team, for my girlfriend, for myself. Everyone and working so hard in the winter, and the bike was just working awesome this week.